style over substance. Attitude is everything. Live on the edge. These are the only 3 rules that guide our future. A future inspired by the work of Hosan Gonzalez, bound by Mike Pondsmith's cyberpunk law. A dark future cast in a neon glow, where corporations through nuclear fire have destroyed the known world, save for a few mega metropolises. The tales you are about to witness are built around the heart of one such city. Robo City 16, where the machine rules through a mechanized iron fist. The promise of prosperity through logic and sedation has stagnated the progress of the people. However, what the logic of the machine will never conclude, but the will of a few may, is it's time for change. It's time to rage. For good or ill, the chosen few are those you witness before me. Let's meet the members of the notorious Mortal Code.
Where did we start last time? Mine?
I don't know, it was kind of random.
The one cowering. My bottom right, your bottom left.
But how can I see that?
Hello, everybody. My name is Remy the Ever Living. I play Astraea Megatar, the Nomad Extraordinaire. I can basically drive anything you see in front of you. Cars, planes, trains, everything. I am a female. I have long brown hair. Well, black hair, I guess. That's kind of in dreads. I usually have like a half like HUD face mask over my eyes. I have cyber eyes as well. Dressed pretty nicely for a nomad. Love to shoot, drive, other things that I won't mention, and yeah.
Directly bottom. Look at that caboose.
I'm Luna, and I play Netra, who is a net runner and an up-and-coming superstar who rolls with the Mortal Code. I wear a headset that's outfitted with cameras that allows me to hack into tech, as well as stream an encrypted POV video to the deep stream, which is actually the stream you're watching right now. It's like stream inception. So let me know if you think you have a good idea for us to implement into our game today. For example, if we're at a fork in the road and you think we should go left, or maybe we should blow some guy's head off, put it in the chat and I shall relay it to our game master.
Yes.
Getting better at that. I'm Enzer, and I play
Sure.
Tink, a crazy old techie. I essentially, my character art is up right now, upper right hand corner.
Look at that.
Tink.
It's what I look like. And so yeah, I'm a crazy old guy. I like to fix up meat and metal. Newest member of the party.
And he's crazy.
Yeah,
He's a crazy old man.
3 times crazy. That's me.
All right, before we get into it, we have just a few announcements to go over, and one is Netra mentioned that she streams everything she does within our universe using a VR headset. There are many individuals in this universe that wear a VR headset, so this, what I'm wearing and presenting you to you right now, is both to help immerse you as well as to be a tool within my DM toolbox to help me be the best dungeon master ever. I have HUDs across the screen. I can roll, read, look up references, and I even have the stream off here. You can't quite see. Well, you can see. You can exactly see what I see in one of these panels. So second up, Netra, have you sent the link to
what you see?
the POV?
Not this session, but I shall.
Thank you.
So check the chat. Luna's
POV.
gonna
Chat.
post a video that Magnus
It's
created.
just gonna be a video of cats.
POV.
That's what I'm watching.
I just wanted to say
That's
POV
all
since
of
everybody
my
else was saying it.
DM inspiration.
A GoPro attached to a cat's collar.
We are, as always, graced by the presence of losers. That's Luna mixed with Enzer. Put together, they make loser, and they are the purveyors of the Loser Club, a Monday through Wednesday stream on Twitch under the Loser Club. Twitch.tv/the Loser Club. Luzer. Kaloob.
POV.
They are awkward and grand in their own magnificent ways. They cosplay, and they're just downright entertaining to watch. So, when done with this stream or waiting up to this stream, go ahead and check them out.
Yeah.
When last we left.
And finally, if you like what you see here, go ahead and share it with all of those that you care about, that you think would also enjoy this amazing content. Pat everybody down around here on the backs.
That's my back.
Remember to like, share, and follow across Twitch and Facebook Gaming. And without further ado, also these episodes get uploaded the following week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So if you missed out on tonight,
To YouTube.
thank you, under Sasapunks as well. So if you missed out on tonight, you can feel free to catch up next week. And without further ado, let's get into the net. When last we left our punks of the Mortal Code, they escaped the war zone of Robo City 16, where they lost a member of their Mortal Code, Jay, to the very sinister Minister of Death.
Sinister Minister. That's
They
a cool
made-
band name. Sorry.
Sinister Minister. I wonder what the artwork for that would be. Anyway, they made a stop at a repair shop outside of the city to fix Bastion, their heavily damaged air car, where they met Tink, a wily old mechanic who found a reason to leave his home thanks to the Mortal Code. And finally, they ran into the Nomads of the Quasars, a lively group of road warriors led by none other than Infini and Tatra, Astraea's very own father and mother, respectively. We pick up now, after the Mortal Code decided to travel with the Quasars through the massive radstorm between them and New Samarkand, their destination. Checking thunder rolls across... checking. I'm reading this. Why do I have checking?
Checking the
Checking
I
thunder.
must have done
today?
like swipe typing or something like that. I have no idea why that's there.
You thunder? Lightning.
You thunder? Thunder rolling across in every direction as they're barreling through this storm. Well, I lost my super train of thought. Rain beats across the vehicle as they rip their way through the dense clouds of black and green smoke. A representation both literal and metaphorical of the chaos the Mortal Code immerses themselves in. This is where we pick up. Let me change the music right quick.
Did we say it's like super early in the morning? Because it was like nighttime. Everybody's like,
Yes.
we're gonna sleep for a little bit.
It's very early in the morning, and it's very hard to actually tell what time there's no like visual indication of what time of day it is currently.
Storm time.
Storm time.
Oh. I thought you said stolen time.
Stolen
No.
time.
And just to clarify, when you say rad storm, that means radical, right?
Yes.
It's is there a word for like something that has a double meaning?
I'm just kidding. Radioactive.
Yes, radioactive. Rad in this case, as you look down on your sort of like a package that was left inside of Bastion, as the party has been split. Astraea is driving with her mother Tetra, as well as Adina, your package to New Samarkand, in the back, where Tink and Netra are driving in Bastion, the air car that Astraea stole from Baron Ironface. Netra, you notice almost immediately as your primary sight is through your headset. Even the vision itself is like the sort of scrolling lines of displacement. Anytime you try and tap into any of your like measurement devices of where you're currently located, the information about potentially weather or literally anything else, that is near non-existent. You might be able to divert some of your power or try and think of some solution to try and get any aspect of your headset up and functioning, but currently it is barely even glasses at the moment.
I'll have you know, mine is working flawlessly.
Your head.
My navigation is
the pot
true.
on your head.
100% clear. So if you need tech stuff, just I'm right here at the wheel.
As you are Tink, you're the one driving Bastion currently. Astraea, you are driving Brightbloom, your mother's car. The best way for you to even navigate through the storm, you would have no idea if you didn't have the dense presence of the caravan of the Quasars rolling with you and around you with very purposeful sort of neon lights highlighting their vehicles to try and point them out. But even so, you can only see vehicles within about 20 to 30 feet, a 20 to 30 foot radius around you. Astraea, you are at the front of the pack with your mother, as she is the one who typically navigates the Quasars through the Radstorm. And she mentions while in the car, the last time we passed through this hellscape, it was a 2,000-kilometer marathon. 24 hours of nothing but driving. And we even fit a race in the Iron. We don't tend to take stops unless absolutely necessary or opportunity shows its beautiful face in the form of loot or ruins that might hold fortune, for lack of a better term. You actually notice that she stops for a second, almost mid-sentence, and she's looking off into in front of the vehicle. She flicks on, she grabs the sort of communication device, clicks on the button, and you just hear static respond as she goes, "Dyson!" And you hear in response, almost immediately after, "Own it!" But it's through broken, it's barely audible.
Broken chatter, yeah.
Exactly. And you see this, or you hear the sound of a roaring engine. And Tink and Netra, you see Infini's vehicle, the sort of Escalade with the numerous different articulating sections of armor plating on it. Effectively drive quickly past everyone, weave through the caravan, and 4 of the armor pieces shift in front and point together to create a plow. As you see just this vague outline through the smoke and storm of this line of cars, almost like traffic, ancient traffic that's been frozen and deteriorated through time. As he just
get behind his car.
Exactly. Like he pulls right in front of you automatically. This was almost the command that Tetra had given him. As car just flies, scrapes up and spins off the side, landing on the periphery. Another one to the left side. As he's paving the way through this dense section of what seems to be traffic going in a perpendicular direction.
Old highway or something.
Exactly. Something along those lines. About 12 lanes, 6 rows of traffic going in both directions, but realistically about like 6.5 lanes as the majority of the traffic is going outside of whatever potential city might have existed there before. But you guys make it through, and the sectioned plating pulls back, and he takes his position, almost orbiting Brightbloom. As the sort of like protector.
Good old
I will
daddy.
be doing it. Can we say that I am behind Brightbloom outside the orbit?
Yeah, so the way that you've seen,
or I'm just following the other cars.
that you've seen Infini orchestrate everybody as they got ready to go through the storm was there is a it's almost like a target. The innermost circle is what they called the Goldilocks. It's like their lifeblood of the Quasars. It's about 5 or 6 different larger vehicles that are meant to be the goods, whatever they're trading, whatever medical supplies they have, and so it's designed, this caravan, to have that at the center as the like the meat and potatoes, and then there are numerous different shells around it of celestials, which are the sort of like buggies and medium-sized vehicles that have a bit more mobility, and then the satellites, which are hover cars, or sorry, not hover cars, hover bikes, and even some of the kids skateboarding, grabbing onto the sides of the vehicles and leaning away to grab onto another one as they're like talking to people, trying to organize and coordinate different things, making trades, you notice as well. Anybody outside, as the rain is pouring down, the thunder's all around you, and the thickness of visibility is present, is in a full suit. Some people have just gas masks on, and this is actually brings me back to the thing that I was mentioning before that I didn't actually get to, is that in the back seat, next to the toys, next to the bear, the car, and Adina's bear, car, and bunny, is a small box with about 3 gas masks in it. If for whatever reason you need to venture out during this time.
Is Lightfoot, is that his name? Lightfoot, one of the skateboarding kids, or nah?
As you look in your rear view mirror to track, just to see what the caravan looks like and make sure that everybody is together, and just to almost like, so this is how we travel through the storm. It's connecting the dots of your family and how they do things. You do see, pulling through the smoke, getting closer and closer, and almost appearing on their board made of white, rimmed in white light, is the hooded figure of Light Rider, the individual that you faced in the light cycle match to get the aluminum pieces. And he pulls up right, like he grabs onto a vehicle, grabs onto a buggy, and sort of like you see him talking to the buggy, you see him hand something through the window. The buggy pulls up, goes really quickly, and pulls alongside and even passes Bastion, the vehicle that Tink and Netra are in. As the vehicle as the vehicle pulls forward, he lets go and uses the momentum to sail along to the left and grab onto the side of Bastion.
No.
And he looks. You see him look into the window. We got company. Yeah, you see him look into the window, and you see scrolling across his visor, you, me, versus now.
I'm gonna look out of the corner of my eye and look at it, but I'm not gonna look directly at him, and I'm just gonna continue to look straight out the windshield.
Take the wheel, Netra.
You hear
No.
Ka, ka, ka,
No,
ka,
no.
ka. Ka, 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 ka.
I'm not gonna look at him still, but I'm gonna be like, wow, this storm is picking up, Tink.
You can't let these people walk all over you.
As the
I'm gonna lower the window. I assume it's just a button.
It's like,
Yeah, I'll peep, lower it a little bit, and I'll put my face in the opening and yell.
What do you want?
Are you
Kinda busy.
Are you lowering it on Netra's side?
Oh, he's on Netra's side?
He's on Netra's
Sorry,
side, yeah.
I missed that bit.
I didn't realize he was on my
Take that back.
Wait, you said the left side?
I am so sorry. I did say the left side. I meant he veered towards the left and grabbed onto the right side of Bastion.
Oh, so he was on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on your
Right.
right, grabbed onto the right side.
I see.
Well, I'll still do that. It just won't make sense, which is okay.
Right.
That's even better.
Netra, as the window starts to get rolled down, you feel this like almost like soft scraping of your tricep, the back of your arm, as you look back, and the bear with the hockey mask on, representing Jay, is like trying to drag a gas mask in your direction, and he's trying to get your attention. It's like a butter knife is
so
like being slapped
scary.
against your
Okay.
like just like up and down.
I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna, thank you, and then I'm gonna grab the gas mask. You know, switch out my headset for the gas mask, and offer the teddy bear.
The headset, the gas mask has like a bulbous.
It can go over the headset.
Yeah.
Okay, I put it on, and then I'm gonna offer the teddy bear like a spot on my lap, if he wants to come up here. Seems kind of cute, kind of creepy. We should probably be friends.
He hops onto your lap, and then crawls down your left leg and up your right leg, and just starts scraping the window at the guy
it's so much
outside. He's not trying to like break the window or anything. It just seems like he's trying to get like a closer look at Light Rider.
I think he wants to take him.
So you lower the window, Tink, and you say, like, what do you want?
Oh no, I mean I already yelled out my side, but I think I would understand that this is not involving me per se.
What kind of verses are you talking about? We're busy.
He flicks a. You just see him sort of like do this salute flick across his headset as his two fingers point in the direction to yours. You get this staticky notification across your HUD, and it's like a the same executable that you got of light bikes before.
I'm like something bike. I really wish I could read this, but I can't. My headset is not working very well right now, so I'm sorry, but this is a lost cause.
Go ahead and roll a cool plus persuasion.
Cool plus persuasion.
Actually, I guess it turns out I had one reflex after all, I guess. I didn't notice
16.
that, but
Okay.
it's weird.
You see him like dip down even more and almost evenly place the sides of his headset on the window, and you see scroll past on his view portion, "Beginner's luck won't last long." And
Call him a noob.
he sort of like rights his shoulders up again, gets ready on his board, and sort of like thrusts himself off, and it says, "I'm coming for you," as he goes away.
Hail
I'm
him
just
down.
gonna quickly like pull the window up.
I think. Oh.
I'm gonna close that window ASAP.
Aspa.
And then put the gas mask back in the back seat.
Okay. As you guys have been traveling for about half an hour at this point, you know that you have like the length of the journey right now, or at least an average of the journey, which is 2,000 kilometers, which equates to about 1,200 miles. And it'll take about 24 hours of pure driving through the storm.
It's a big storm.
It's a huge storm. This storm has always been a feature of the landscape around you. It's always been there. It's always been huge. It's always been inexplicable, and almost like this is the area that most nobody will ever go in this direction. But yet you all are going there now. Tetra brings up the comms again, and she hails your vehicle, Bastion.
Ma, what are you
Tink.
doing?
I think it's important that your friends. What do you call each other?
Friends, well, in the car right now would be I suppose Netra and and Tink would be in the car right now.
We heard this though.
I mean, I just saw Light Rider go to the car and say something, but that's who's in there for right now. I mean, they're okay at driving. I wouldn't necessarily put them in too much of a pickle, but they're okay. They could pull out of it, I suppose.
You and them need to know something as we go forward. And she clicks the button. She says, Netra, Tink, this is Tatra. Our names sound similar.
No, they don't.
There are pockets of this dense activity within the storm. The entire storm is not this way. Be wary of the rain, for that's what carries most of the radiation. The entire storm is irradiated, but the rain itself is the most radioactive among, at least what we've found in this hellscape. So, keep your windows up as best as you can. Keep your skin covered as best as you can, but there will be times where we can more safely exit our vehicles or trade amongst each other.
Quick question. Bastion does, I guess, I don't know if my mother would know anything about this, but Bastion does have shields on it. Would those protect against any radiation, or that just, or do you know anything about, or do you know anything about shields? I guess, mother. That's.
What kind of shield?
It's digital. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've seen like dad's.
What is it meant for, Astraea?
It protects against force, I guess, for a little bit.
I guess there's one way to find out.
I guess I'll message you guys like, hey, Tetra, are you driving or is Tink driving? Or I mean, Netra.
Tink is driving.
Oh God. Okay. Tell you actually you push the button. Okay. Push the lattice button on the center. It should have power to it. It's a shield. You've seen me press it before, I believe.
Okay. Boop.
What are you doing over there?
Instead of the dense pattering of the rain on the physical shell of the vehicle, you hear it instead extended farther outside of your perception, and it's pattering on what is now the almost like digital physical lattice that is represented as an oval around the entirety of Bastion. You can also see clearly, perfectly clearly within this oval, as well, as it seems like it's preventing everything from the outside and everything from the outside from getting into the inside. But you do even see, as the rain is with more strength and force than is typical of rain, is pattering, is punching the shell. There's small little boom 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 on the outside of the barrier, and you can see that the meter is, it's not obvious at first, but the meter for the shield's power is very slowly, you see very small ticks as it starts to go down. And
that's just the shield's power, not like the vehicle's like overall.
The vehicle shares power.
Battery.
So this is its.
Press that button again to turn it
This
off.
is its like sub power that is shared through some ghetto rigging after it was heavily damaged.
It's called jury rigging.
Is shared between jerry rigging. Between its the features of the vehicle, not the primary not the primary aspects of the vehicle. Like you can still divert this power to speed, which would be a primary aspect of the vehicle, but for the most part it's like a balancing act between invisibility, barrier, you can even put it to firepower. It's sub functions.
It's like some of the starships that I used to pilot.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it does recharge, but it's not incredibly strong for now. I would say Netra, give me, and Tink, if you're both looking at it, give me an intelligence plus education.
You got it.
Or tracking.
Look at you.
20.
20.
Ooh, he got a natural 10.
You have about, with the force that the rain is coming down on, you have about 10 minutes of active shield. You know that if this were bullets instead of rain, it would be probably less than a minute. So you've got some activity. And then seeing I was going to say the rate at which the bar is coming back. It's actually not coming back. Tink, you're aware of this. You know that after all of your fixes and jerry-rigging and so on and so forth, that in a few hours, you're actually going to have to tend to this vehicle. And it's... you actually haven't heard the spiel from Tatra, Astraea's mom. But this is...
You didn't hear that?
No.
I thought she reached out to us over the radio.
Yeah.
She did to say
comms.
that to mention like the nature of the storm. But as as this happens, you see Howland's tow truck, much higher than yours, of course, although you can sort of elevate yours as much as you like within, let's say, about 20 feet. It still like can't ascend to the top of the storm like it might have been in the past.
Oh, okay. I see.
But yeah, you Howland pulls up, and you see a notification come for like comms trying to come in, so you can answer or you don't have to. His truck does pull up, or his tow truck does pull up on the left side of the vehicle where you are, Tink.
If I see it blinking, I'll open up the comms channel.
Aye, mighty kind of ya. I like what Astraea's brought to the pack. You lot have spunk. Nah, heart more like. But I dinna think the rest of the Quasars are so easily bought. Which is why, should you accept, I have a task for ya. Something that's that's likely to impress the rest of these road junkies. If you've got the heart for it, that is.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you. I like this guy.
Mm.
Pretty cool.
You
What?
may have thought you spoke too soon afterwards, but I assure you it's a simple task. As soon as the storm clears up a bit, as we get in a bit deeper, I'm going to make a trade. You're, one of you, anyway, are going to hop over to the garden to fix their engine. The garden. And in return, you're going to pick up some meds for me.
What kind of meds?
Wait. We're going to fix somebody's vehicle. In return, we're also getting you meds.
This doesn't sound like a cool deal.
I don't know, it seems pretty great.
Cool story,
You
bro.
see, out here it's not rare that we drive for days on end without making any stops. And nothing's for free, as you know. Sometimes you have to pay another ship a visit in the flotilla to trade or fix. Vehicle hopping is common among any road warrior worth their salt. Count it as a trial of sorts. Show them you're not afraid. Show them you're one of us. Show them this isn't foreign territory to ya, that you can be counted on. Lucky for you, friends come quick in the face of life or death. Am I right?
Yeah. I think so. Just show us where to go as soon as we stop. No idea who the Guardian is.
Oh, there'll be no stopping. The Guardian's one of our,
Oh, Guardian. Right.
Or sorry, the Garden. I didn't say Guardian. Garden.
The Guardian's one of our, Goldilocks vehicles.
So it's in the central. It's in the center of the caravan's sort of security system.
I'm
It's
kind
in the
of
center of the
confused. So, we're not stopping, but we are going to fix a vehicle.
Your confusion. I get why you're confused now. No, in order to prove your lot here, you're gonna have to jump while moving across these vehicles.
I'm gonna click and be like, Howland, what are you saying to them right now? What's going on? I see your car's been pulled up next to them for quite some time.
Astraea, you know the rules of the road better than anyone. I'm just letting them know what might be at stake here as we drive through, trying to get them acquainted with the rest of the Quasars.
Oh.
In a hurry, that is. Danger can strike at any moment, and I'd hate for them to be left stranded.
Alright, Helen, alright. I didn't think anything foul. I just thought you were going to play a little prank on them, that's all. So, keep doing what you're doing, I guess, yeah. Take care of them.
Hey, we'd be got. Oh, just goes. And Helen says to clicks on the comms back to you, to the Bastion that Tink and Tatra are in, and he pretty much says that
You're gonna need items, knickknacks, advice, or something to trade to get from one vehicle to another. Nothing is free, not even a temporary ride. But a temporary ride is a small price amongst the Quasars. So, if you've got any life advice for someone of your age, I imagine has quite a sum, or any personal item, something that you found useful.
Okay. Well, as you said, nothing here is for free. And on that note, what are you gonna trade for us? We're gonna do this for you. What are you gonna do for us? To be honest, I got nothing to trade. Well, nothing that's not on my body. So, what you got?
Hey, nothing of mine. What you're getting out of this is...
Hang on. Let me... How close is he?
he's maybe like 6 feet away from like length and height. He's about there's six feet between your window and his. And he's not like rolling down his window. He's purely talking to you over comms.
Okay. I really want to try and jump over to his vehicle.
You're
driving.
Just told you that it would be that is it comes with the territory. So,
right. Okay.
Grab the wheel.
What you get out of this trade is buying from the Quasars. Let's just say if your tire happens to pop, or you get lost, which many have, even within the Quasars here, you're out of luck. Nobody, save for maybe Astraea, will come and get you. Will help you at any capacity. I figure we're at the start of a long and arduous journey. The better we all can work together, the larger our chances are for survival. And I've seen what you're capable of. Others have not. Is that a fair trade?
I don't think I hear this. Isn't it just to you?
You're
No,
right
it's coming,
next
it's
to me.
coming through the
Oh,
comms
okay,
of
never
the
mind.
car.
Never mind. I thought it was like his individual comms.
How heavy or how hard is it raining right now?
It's very densely raining. It's like you can hear the smacking of
Ooh,
what
yep,
sounds
yep,
like
the shield, you
rubber
just
pellets.
Turn that
on
off and turn
your
it back on
vehicle.
once it comes close. Then you have the little bubble.
It's okay. Well, still don't know what to trade here, but
As I
Got
said, if you have any stories,
Anecdotes? You should tell them about your best friend back at the shop.
I'll figure something out. All right, well,
The true meaning of friendship.
who do we get the meds from, huh? How about that? That sounds useful.
I told you, the garden. You're going to want to talk to when you get over there. Ion Pharaoh.
What?
Either Ion Pharaoh or Dim Seeker.
Feral or dim seeker.
All right, then.
We've got some time. I
Did-
saw their, they told me about their ales, and I've heard them driving alongside them for a while now. Doesn't seem too serious to me.
And do you have anything to trade for those? Nomads, or are we offering up our own stuff?
You're fixing their vehicle.
Ah, okay.
The
Everything's
garden
clicked
itself. You're doing the work.
Now. Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll reach out when we got everything.
Oh, I'm gonna help you get some of the way there to save you some trouble, but we should wait until we're out of this, the density of chaos here.
Okay.
And, speaking of which, Astraea, roll an intelligence plus local expert if you have it.
Intelligence, local expert.
Or perception.
What's... Oh, I guess I'll do intelligence perception then.
All right.
Wait, what is this to actually? Am I looking for something, or am I just like looking for like tells?
This is just straight up. You're looking for something.
If I'm looking for something, yeah.
You are. Your mom is giving you advice. This is like what you can pick from the advice as you're navigating, because you're not driving with your own.
Like know-how, I guess.
Exactly. Like you are navigating for sure. In driving as best as you can, as you have to avoid certain objects and things. But in terms of knowing where you're going, Tetra is the one who's effectively like guiding you. Left here.
Okay.
Go straight for another 3
yeah,
miles.
then I would use perception then, because I'm looking. I'm not like local expert. I'm just like I'm literally like staring at the road. Like okay, so you told me to go here. Shit. Okay, go there. Okay, so. 16.
Okay. As you're looking forward and navigating, you can tell that there is a horizon. We're just going to say horizon to describe what's in any portion in front of you, of electricity pillars in the ground and streaking across the sky. Actually, I would say with a 16, you can't quite pick out any specific reason why she's telling you what you're doing as it is right now. But
I'm a follower.
After a few minutes of travel, though, the thunder picks up and becomes more and more frequent, and you feel an impact detonate into the in between numerous of the vehicles, and you're as people are keeping a wide perimeter, displacing some of the tight formation before collecting again on the other side. You guys have entered into a lightning storm for all intents and purposes, and there are dense tendrils of lightning. The frequency of thunderous cracks has picked up, and you can see some of the vehicles throwing out lightning sticks to impact into the ground to then take some of the electric charge and divert it from where you guys are going. So right now I would say is a moment where if you just decide to continue driving, there's a chance that you will get messed up by electricity. Astraea, you got 6 lightning sticks. How many would you have given to Bastion?
Suppose Bastion's a little.
You did notice that that Bright Bloom does have a quiver of them.
Oh, then if we have a quiver, I'd give us like I'd make it so like we were pretty much even on them almost. Maybe they.
I got my own magnets. I went up to
like
or Tabernacle came by to every vehicle and gave out lightning sticks.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. So you had the 6. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Then they're good. And Tetra, you see, rolls down the window, turns around, grabs one of the sticks after she puts one of the masks on, and just chucks it high up into the air as everybody sees this pillar of lightning detonate into the air before it meets the vehicles and just sort of like arcs off behind.
So it's like
She just javelins it up into the sky and almost like catches a piece of a portion of lightning before it impacts into the caravan once again.
Dang, just like, ooh, still got that arm, Mom.
You know it. And this is not. That didn't mean that it saved Bastion or any of the other vehicles from this portion. Also, Tink, as the lightning is striking the grounds and the
Shield?
I just said it. The formation is being sort of upset and displaced as people are driving, separating off into the periphery. They're disappearing into the clouds, and some are coming back. But the clouds are so dense that as people are trying to keep a wider formation now, it's harder to keep track of almost anybody. So I want you to, one, tell me if there's anything that you want to do to try and either you can even say like I want to drive in a manner that like tries to avoid lightning, and it can be a drive check. But one of these checks is certainly going to be a drive check to see if you can stay within the formation and not get lost.
Well, I'm definitely gonna hit that shield button for sure.
Okay.
And then try and just stay as close to the closest vehicle as possible.
Okay, so give me an intelligence plus actually give me a perception plus driving plus 1d10. We're gonna get it. We won't get interesting here.
Perception.
This is seeing where you are in relation to the rest of the flotilla or caravan, and driving to see if you can stay in line with everybody as they're constantly moving and shifting and orbiting these lightning strikes.
I'm gonna use 4 points of luck to get to 20.
A 20. Okay. Yes, thanks to not having to worry about the lightning from the barrier around you, you are able to focus on following Bright Bloom in front of you, which got these highlighted neon accents around the metallic aluminum pedals that form around this vehicle. So long as you stay within about 15 feet of Bright Bloom, you're able to stay the course. And thankfully, Bright Bloom is being led by Tatra and Astraea, so you are pretty solidly comfortable navigating through this lightning storm.
Like,
this dense activity of thunder and lightning around
just
you.
want to tell him back. Good driving. No, I want to say Jay, but good driving, Tink. All right, you're not as senile as I thought you were. No, I was just.
Thanks.
That was a compliment. Yes, it wasn't making fun of anything. Yeah.
When's it gonna stop?
Is that? Are you? Is
Adina's
Adina
in the
okay?
back, in a fetal position with hands around her head,
I guess.
curled up, and her eyes are closed. She's it seems like she's having a very difficult time right now.
Do we have any of her toys in here at all? Or?
No, they're in the other car.
Like, Mom, do you have any things from when I was a kid in here? Maybe I know you didn't really care, but do you perhaps maybe have something?
She just looks at you with, and as she looks at you with this very blank expression, she raises an eyebrow and narrows her eyes. Like, do you think I would keep any of that?
In your glove box, maybe? I don't know.
Darling, you know that would just weigh me down.
Yes, Mom. Here, Adina, play with the screw, I guess, or play. I grab like a random screwdriver and I'm like, here.
Go ahead and give a cool plus persuasion to see how effectively you can assuage Adina's current
18.
Through much trial, it
Just
seems,
like...
she moves her hands from her head and looks up at you and gives you this weak smile while grabbing.
I'm gonna play with it like it's a drum, like it's drum things. It's like, well,
No, wow.
here, take it.
It still seems like she's in a bit of pain. Some perspiration is exiting her form. And she's looking at you with this kind look, almost as though she's doing it for you, but also a little bit interested in making music again. And she takes the long screws and just starts to beat them on the back of your chair, which is usually the most annoying thing ever.
Like
But
nice rhythm, nice rhythm, yeah.
And it's like, and then there's a pause, and then a thunder sort of courses around.
Oh.
It's a very interesting sensation. It almost brings you into the storm a little bit more as an experience rather than a threat. Okay, so
Should take more drugs.
9 minutes pass, Tink, as you start to see the meter get into the red for the power, as the barrier still exists around you. 30 more seconds, the barrier gets down even more. Flashes start to as it gets to its last 3, 2. You see the expanse visualize before you as you exit dense clouds. The barrier around around Bastion shatters as you see this sort of like recharge indication on the bar indicating the power of Bastion's sort of subsystems. And the expanse, as it extends, is this deserted field. Of course, encased in this dome of clouds and lightning still. But the thick black portion has been removed. The rain that's been pattering on your windshield, being swiped away almost futilely, is gone. You have entered into, you're still in the storm, but you've entered into a less active portion of the storm. This happens as you see the entirety of the caravan leave this wall of green destruction behind you, green and black destruction behind you. You have now entered into what is a more peaceful area of the storm. More peaceful is not a great way to describe it. Not as threatening, I suppose.
The eye of the storm?
Less
You are
hazardous?
not even in the eye of the storm, no.
Oh.
As the storm is still up around you, see dead trees periodically utterly destroyed. There's no growth from them. They've almost seemed like crystallized, as it's mostly a base that's been splintered into numerous different thicker branches that have been just torn and ripped off, or through time this thing has just solidified. And there are a few of these trees that percolate throughout the distance. You see some roads intersecting with each other, with vehicles again that seem to have been 100 years abandoned and submitted to the effects of this the storm inside. And you see destroyed small towns that you're sort of driving through very quickly, that are just skeletons of what they used to be. Smaller towns. I'm talking like maybe 100 buildings, at most 2 stories high, but mostly ruined, destroyed, decimated, like a bomb has hit this area. Lightning is still detonating across the skies higher above you now, but there is no rain currently.
Woo! Glad we got out of there. It's getting pretty bad. Well, I have an idea. I don't know how the kid's doing without her toys back there, but now is a better time for us to try and, well, maybe we could start practicing this vehicle jump thing.
I was thinking the same thing.
Nice!
Vehicle
Oh, that's a
jumping
good
in a storm.
You know, I've been thinking, Tink. We're getting along and everything. I think it's time that we come up with a nickname for ourselves. Combine our names. Hear me out. Tetra.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's got
It's catchy, right?
Ah, totally original.
Is that real?
You right, Mom? What the?
Oh, that was in game?
I didn't think I had
Oh.
was allergic to anything, but that was odd. Ignore that. I'm fine.
Someone must be talking about you, Mom. That's what they say in the city.
She's allergic
I
to
should be
bullshit.
sneezing all the time then.
Never humble, were you? No, I'm just joking. You're fine, Mom. I love you.
She doesn't say it back.
You just look over and she's like,
While she oh my God. Looks out of the corner of her eye for a second.
Did she notice?
Wow. I'm gonna hit up Astraea on the comms.
okay.
It seems like we're in a pretty calm part of the storm. Do you want me to come up and bring what's her face's toys? I saw them in the back seat. I mean, there's nothing we can do with them. Maybe she would like them.
Well, that is a very nice idea. What did Helen test? What was Helen talking to you about? Just tell me. You wouldn't get this idea on your own, I don't believe. Unless Tink told you this idea. Was it Tink?
No, I heard it. He wants us.
Sorry, I
Is
just.
that supposed to intimidate me?
No, that wasn't like.
Oh, I see.
No, that was not supposed to intimidate you. That was just my.
A rock shatters through the window. Shatters your head faceplate.
I was going to tell
Sorry,
you,
keep
but
going. I didn't
no,
mean
thank
to
you.
Interrupt.
He basically just wants us to jump to the garden vehicle.
You're gonna
Fix it.
I don't even remember the last time I have done that, but you know, that should be that
this
should get
hard?
you.
Not hard.
Let's just say the rest will be impressed, and you will have your place here. So, if you want to practice with the bright bloom, then go be my guest.
That's
be
what
right
we would
ahead.
like to practice.
Here's
the issue
the
is
problem.
that Tink is gonna have to do it.
Oh, the old man's gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
Are his bones okay?
No.
No.
Oh,
They're
that
not.
Tink.
They're
You
not.
are old. Your bone. Maybe Netra could do it. Just as maybe. I mean, you are fabulous, but she
Yeah,
is just
you know.
younger.
Old age finally started to hit in the moment we left the shop. Back there, oh my gosh,
Moment.
I was a gymnast.
A hot
Let
shot.
me
I could
tell
tell. I could tell the way you were jumping around those manticores was amazing. Yeah,
Everything just kind of deflated and got all weak on me.
it happens. It happens. Not old people. Not you, Mom. Yeah, but old people. Yes, it happens.
So, if we could get really close, that might be a good thing.
Well, I'll do my best at driving to try to avoid you. Hold on a minute. You're driving.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
it's gonna be
You're
tricky.
We're gonna
jumping
have to
and
make a
driving.
switcheroo.
Okay, that makes it a little more complicated, but we'll. Hold on, Mom. We'll be ready. We'll be ready. Yeah. I say Adina in the back, like, yeah, we're gonna put your gas mask on. We're gonna open the window a bit and everything, and I get them all ready for this transfer, I guess.
This
And
is
they're like,
for toys.
it's for practice. They want to try and fix the garden.
If we lose the garden, we'll be in. Probably won't make it through the storm. So I can see the reason in that.
Yes, they want to.
They
They really
haven't
like
even
it.
jumped before.
They really like the caravan, the family. It's great. I love what you've done with Mom. I love it. It's amazing. It's grown. Well, it's not grown necessarily, but culture has definitely grown. And they just want to be part of it. So they want to do this to help us. They may have never jumped before, but I vouch for them. They are good under pressure.
roll a cool
Good
plus
under
persuasion.
pressure.
I'm gonna
I'd
start.
say at advantage.
I'm gonna start moving into the back seat.
Netra, take over.
Okay, give me a reflex plus driving plus 1d10, and give me a reflex plus driving plus 1d10, Netra.
I'm gonna use 5 points of luck and make it a 20.
15.
This is not gonna end well. Or will it?
You have luck.
A 1. But altogether, that's a 10. And I have luck points. So
How many points of luck did you add?
I didn't add any yet, can I still?
Oh, I thought you said you also have luck points. That's a 10 with a 1. As Tink, you got a 15?
Yeah.
You wait until you hold one arm on the wheel and you look back and you see where the toys are. One is just on Netra, so that one's easy. But as you see that the bunny with a studded vest and everything is trying to roll down the window right now, and is just climbs up the side of the door and is just pounding on the glass in the back, and just in a fury, in a wild manner. As you look back and you're seeing a toy do this is I guess maybe Tink would be well, that's, maybe cool, or toys these days, who knows?
His best friend was a trash compactor.
and as you turn at the third second that you're looking back at this toy, as the car is just sitting, is just resting in the back, it's not moving at all. The toy turns, the bunny, and looks at you, and does this no-fingered plush. Why do I keep thinking of plush bunny? Mechanical armed bunny just go.
Damn.
Oh,
and then turn to the window again and start pounding on it.
It's definitely Max.
So you're holding the window, and then Netra grabs the wheel. You look at Netra are you good? And then, Netra confirms, and as soon as you let go, the wheel just loses control, and she's being thrown back and forth across the dash as you're trying to move in the back, and she's trying to get over into your seat. The vehicle's the buggy that took Light Rider over towards you is looking over. You see the driver through these thick goggles just looking at you, and look at the road and then look at you, and then the car starts to veer towards the driver, gets much closer for you guys as the windows start to almost connect, and the driver just yanks his wheel to the left, and you have caused, now that driver's yanked his wheel, many of the other drivers are compensating you see in your rearview mirror just numerous lights. The entire caravan just get thrown into disarray as your own vehicle is just trying to get a teddy bear over to you, and they do a spin, an out of control spin, I would say, with a 1. So you can add, I would say 5 points of luck will get you back on track.
Can I
But if you don't, then the entire caravan may have to stop for you or just keep going forward.
Can I
You should use the luck.
grab
use
my
the
headset?
5 points of luck.
or grab my visor and put it on my mom and be Mom, could you just do something with I don't know, Netra, could you give control of the car to my mom or something like that? Something weird. Like how we didn't know that was a game. Never mind. Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. We're good. I'm back on track.
You realize you're grabbing the wheel and you're riding the car back into position, getting back into formation, and you sneeze for a second, and the wheel continues to sort of rock back and forth, getting into the proper position, and you just notice your mom sigh as you see the flaring light across a visor that she puts just onto her face.
Yeah, sorry about that. They are. I said they were new. They handled it right. They didn't cause any major problems, right? They just some slight disarray.
Astraea, I handled it.
You.
We can't have the caravan falling into disarray.
I'm glad to know you trust me, Mom.
Them. You trust them, so I will trust them. These are dire circumstances, so we'll give them a little bit of leeway. But this is life and death. And this is our life, Astraea. You know that.
I know, but it's also their lives. If they die, they die. It's true for both ways. It's dangerous. I'm just gonna drive now. I understand. I kind of agree-ish.
If they can fix the garden, it will certainly send waves throughout the caravan. But they can't pull things like this anymore. And I need to guide you. I can't do this for long.
I just.
She says, your driving has been fantastic so far. I'm glad to see that you've...
That perks me up. I stand up a little straighter. Or I drive a little straighter, not stand up.
See, you've learned a few things while away. And as the caravan is barreling forward, now everything is visible to everybody else. You see the perimeter of the... you see the sort of focal point of the Goldilocks, the perimeter of the Celestials, and the larger sort of orbit of the satellite vehicles. And she says, you're leading this, Astraea. Show them that you never left. Show them how grand you are. That you're my daughter. And the terrain starts to sort of like dip and get a little bit more chaotic as pieces of stone are jutting out of the ground and getting a bit more jagged. There are sections of destroyed like way stations, just thick portions of cement that's just been blown over into jagged walls with old ancient semis turned over, and you guys have to actually get pretty specific in how you start driving through this area. There are portions of open space, but it's going to be a bit more difficult of a driving check to jump from vehicle to vehicle.
Don't worry about it. It's fun.
Can I try and take him on the smoothest route like possible? I want to like this like.
Give me
this
a reflex.
one.
Can we get a bonus
driving.
because we're
Plus
following them?
Can we get a bonus driver in this vehicle who can drive? What's Tetra up to?
As Tink sort of like rolls into the back,
This is
and
25.
starts to grab at the toys, Max just dodge rolls over into the driver's seat onto your lap and just starts grabbing the wheel.
Wow, okay. That works out.
I'm just kidding. That's not true.
Damn it.
So,
Wow, okay.
So Jay, Bunny Jay
Oh, yeah.
is in the passenger
Bunny Jay.
seat by their lonesome. You're in the back with the car that's not moving at all, and
Not moving.
sorry, I'm not sorry. Bear Max.
I mean Bear J.
Thank you,
And
Bear.
Bunny Max.
Yes, that one. Bear J and Bunny Max. Bear J is
Bear
in the
Max?
passenger seat. Bear. Gosh, nabbit. Bear J and Bunny Max. Bear J is in the passenger seat. Bunny Max is behind the driver's seat on the window currently, and the car is just sitting in between on the back seat. So, what are you all doing right now?
I'm putting on the gas mask.
Okay.
I got
Netra?
a 25 for the check.
Okay, like shifting into a more aggressive gear. I don't know anything about cars.
Overdrive.
Switching into something that makes it more complicated and cool. You gain a little bit more power as you're using a bit more of the systems. It's a bit more taxing on the system, but you're driving under overturned semis on top of another portion of building. Driving up and around segments of destroyed stone, which guides your bright bloom. Your car is the brightest. It is the thing that's almost the guiding light for the rest of this caravan. You are the tip of the comet as you are veering through up and down, and you can see that some of the air cars are just hopping over. Weaving and dipping and dodging, and the Goldilocks life pretty much support vehicles are still keeping a more safer route as their perimeter vehicles around them are keeping them safe, guiding them, taking some of the some damage as they're literally ramming themselves into portions of the wall, especially Dyson, to just like clear the way for some of these other vehicles. What did you guys get for your driving? I would say you can add 2 to your check, thanks to following right behind Bright Bloom.
Who's Thomas Bags?
It was a spammer.
This is a slow
I'm
song.
19.
Oh, that's because. So that's actually feedback that I would love from the community. Anybody watching is I was just playing a very long sort of thunderstorm audio file. Does that work better for this area, or does the sort of cyberpunk soundtrack work better across the board? I'll just play yours, Enzer, for now.
I liked the thunder, but
I think we could create a cool file where it's like the thunder with like 3 songs mixed in.
yeah,
I literally tried that last night.
Mad Max.
It was the best thunder you can find is like so long that you can't. Well, anyway, we'll talk about this later. But
I can do it for you.
I trust you.
I know where to find the thunder.
We know where the thunder lives.
I think I've lost.
Hours and hours of thunder.
I've lost access to the. I'm sorry, folks.
God. Where is the mountain?
Why did it deviate?
Yeah, I agree with Arn.
What did Arn say? Actually, devices available. That should help. It didn't. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got it. Control has been established once again.
Control? Oh gosh.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said the storm was a bit more natural to the story, but ambient music isn't bad either.
All right, we'll stay with the storm for now. Ambiance, I'm gonna try and get a bit better at going forward. But at that note, I would like to take a break just to take care of some personal things welling up inside of my body.
Emotions.
Stop the details.
Crying. We all do a group cry on break.
We'll be back here at 30? 35?
33.
33. Fine. We'll be back here at 33.
Okay.
What a good number. Until fate next brings us together. 33.
See you guys then.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Sasapunks, to the Cyberpunk stream of a lifetime. When last we left us, we were barreling through a storm, a rad storm, and I believe Bastion, the vehicle of the Mortal Code with Netra and Tink in it, was trying to catch up to...
We're called Tetra now.
Tetra together. We're trying to catch up to Tetra and Astraea in Bright Bloom, Tetra's vehicle, one of the leaders of the Quasars. So, how would you like to accomplish this? The terrain has gotten a little bit more multi-tiered and dynamic and active. Yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult. You can add 2 to your driving roll, Netra, as you're trying to stay in line and use Bright Bloom as a reference point and guide.
I would like to pull up. Let's see. Pull up to the left side of Tetra's car and align the back windows with our back windows.
Doesn't seem like a good spot.
So you'd just be aligning the cars together.
Aren't you jumping over?
But we
Or like
are currently.
handing the
He said
toys?
we're in a spot right now. Like it may not be raining, but now it's more than bumpy. It's jumpy.
It's bumpy.
Bump. Yep.
Jabombe.
I'm gonna look.
Then I
I'm gonna
would do
look
it
like
very
do one of those backseat driving maneuvers where I grab the front, the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and I pull myself up and I look for like a clearing that would make sense to pull this off.
Okay, there's like a there is a stretch of land about 30 seconds in front of you all that exists between 2 portions of elevated displaced land. It's almost like, imagine an earthquake slammed this region and different segments of the ground shifted up, and there's one segment in between 2 elevated segments of sort of it's like a 200-meter stretch. So you have a kind of short opportunity, but one that does provide a little bit of stability. You're just gonna have to get it done quickly.
Okay.
I like the initiative, Netra, but
I'm gonna be like,
let's wait till we get up to that spot.
that sounds good.
I'll get the
Astraea, are you
toys.
hearing this? Beep beep. I'm gonna open comms so that Astraea can hear the plan as well.
What were you saying? I'm just talking to my mom here.
There's a clearing up ahead.
Yeah,
Let's use that to
Let's slow down.
hold this maneuver off.
Slow down by 25% as soon as we hit the clearing.
Here.
I don't know if that's possible, but we'll. You can get up next to us. Yes.
How about
Perfect.
this? Let's at least see if the kid wants these.
She's doing a little better now. Maybe just one or something. I don't know. Adina, do you want anything else besides the long screws I gave you? I mean, we could have Teddy J or Bunny Max or Car, I guess here.
I think Jay would make me feel a little bit better.
Hockey
He was always
mask.
so reassuring and
deadly. And yes. Well, she actually would like the little J man. I guess Max is too violent for her.
Which one's Jay again?
The bear.
Ah.
Are you sure?
I am. Are you?
I will find out. Okay, so that Jay has been sort of picked out as the thing to hand over.
the teddy bear with the hockey mask and the
Well, then I will
dull
grab.
piece of metal.
I'll grab the teddy bear from the passenger seat, and
If you could tie a rope to him before you throw him over so he doesn't get lost. Jay likes to get lost, or at least old Jay.
I got jumper cables.
Never mind.
That's fine. Just attach one end to like the paw and then hold the other end and throw it out.
I was gonna I was gonna jump over.
Oh, okay.
In case your old bones couldn't make it, but you, do you, Jay? I mean, Tink, yes, do you?
Okay, so the clearing comes up now. You have about 30 seconds to make this maneuver. Go. What are you doing?
I'm pulling up next to the vehicle, and then I'm gonna say, on my go, open your back left door, and I will open my right back door at the same time.
Give me, both of
I
you give
can
me
do
a reflex plus driving plus 1d10. If you get above a 13, both of you, you'll be able to stabilize with each other. This is an open stretch of land, so it should be pretty easy.
Oh, wait, the 13?
13, yeah. Do you just already sort of beat that?
I already have it.
That's fine.
That's 13.
Actually, you roll just in case you get a 1.
I got a 1.
Oh my god.
You said that, so you jinxed me.
You have to sort of hop over the ledge of one of the elevated pieces of land to get down onto the same portion of land that is straight and smooth. That in order to be able to pair up with Bastion, with Tink and Tatra, and the side of the vehicle clips the ledge, and you sort of do this rotating, spinning. The side of the vehicle scrapes along the ground as it lands, dents some of the plumage of the plating on the
I'll
side,
fix that.
and then slams on the ground. And
I can fix it. It's a little scratch. That's all it was. A little scratch. I swear. We're still maneuvers go. Nitro. Yep.
Okay.
It's still good. We're still good.
I'm gonna climb out of the window.
Oh, you're climbing out. Okay.
With the teddy bear in my hand.
See, Tink's got
Or
it.
no, I'll shove the teddy bear like in my jacket pocket, and then I'll get ready until they're close. Then I'm gonna try.
You're just gonna dive into the window?
you hear this aggressive scraping noise in this dense sort of bending of metal as landing right next to you and pulling along rather smoothly after the fact is Bright Bloom, as the entire left side of the vehicle is just like scraped and bent.
You can buff that out, Mom. Yeah, don't worry.
Just buff out those scratches.
It was great before I did this. Just know that. Here I go.
I'm not gonna jump.
Okay, go ahead and give me a dexterity plus athletics.
You got it. Yeah.
Natural 10.
Wow, natural 10.
That's good because I really don't have much of either.
You sort of you get out. You sort of like pull your old man body out of the window and hang onto the side, as there's no radioactive rain spilling on you anymore. So you can be outside relatively safely, as the gamma radiation levels are not enough to, through instant exposure, be able to destroy you immediately. They're rather low in the area that you currently are. And as you see sort of Adina look at you and smile and wave through the window starts to roll down, and you are hanging onto the side. You look over your right shoulder, and you look back at Bastion that you're currently on, and you look back to Bright Bloom, and you now or never, and you just jump through. Bring your hands together as you just dive straight through the window. You the sides of your even sort of like jacket don't even hit the edges of the window. You just right in and land in a seated position into Bright Bloom, right next to Adina.
Like
Wow.
you're giving her the toys and getting out though. Why? What?
10 out of 10. That was really good.
Impressive, but.
Hopefully you can repeat that.
Are you impressed?
I'm very impressed.
Threaded the needle there. That might have been enough to
Tell your
sway some
friends.
opinions.
Tink of the Mortal Code. Not here to not impress. All right,
Not
well,
here
I'll
to
be
not
going
impress.
before I
Is that
ruin
your
this
tagline?
intro.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Here you go, kiddo.
Bit of a
Here
double
to
negative.
not impress. Tink, are you gonna stay? Is Netra coming over too?
Nope, but they are. Have fun. Be a good kid. And I'm gonna, yeah, pat her on the head and climb out the window again and try and attempt the same maneuver.
Her bald, elegant, sort of ovular head has got a little bit of perspiration on it as your hand pats it.
Gross.
And you said you're hopping back over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye, Tink. Come over anytime.
Sure thing, kid.
Oh, you might still make it.
What is it? Dex plus athletics?
What was the roll?
Yeah. 13.
Oh, okay. The roll was a natural 13?
No.
Huh?
What was the dice number?
8.
Oh, okay. Wow, you only have a +5?
Yeah. I'm an old man.
Okay,
And I'm
so
not
like
metagaming.
all of the elegance is gone. Your vehicle feels this weight get thrown into the side as you have to grab the wheel and reorient yourself as you jerk to the left, pull back to the right as Tink just slams on, cracking the side window of just a little bit, not a huge crack, but cracking the window as he's grabbed onto the side, his eyes wide open, all the elegance gone. But you've managed to like grab onto Bastion as you hop over. It's one of those like you sort of like bring your body out of the window and you just like, and then like your foot slips and you lose most all of your momentum and purchase and you just like your the bottom portion of your legs are scraping on the ground. But you manage to still grab on and you are safe currently.
Ooh, mission accomplished.
That
Let's
was just
say
the
I'm
practice one.
Getting the hang of
Now
this.
you just gotta do this 2 more times.
No problem for this spry young lad.
Was that give me a bonus of some sort for future jumps?
It's lying to yourself.
Are you still an old man who's never done this before except for once?
But
It's been twice.
it
now.
was quite the
Alright.
experience, you know? I'll never
Changed
forget
him.
it.
We'll see, but most likely not.
Mm.
Remember, you can put points into this if you want. Athletics, that is.
Talking about luck?
Maybe for the first time, or luck. As you hear Tink roar over the radio.
Ah, that was magnificent! Are you ready? The garden's just waiting for you.
Yep. Just gonna need a minute to recover.
We're good.
Okay, you hear him open up like a 3-way comm.
Ahoy there! Remember that trouble you mentioned earlier? I'm sending Astraea's smith over to fix it. Huh, yeah, right. Why would I let them? Well, we've got a long way to go. I figure it's your only option. That sounded kind of bad. I'd give you till the end of the hour before it starts firing and whatnot. Pieces just dropping from the garden. None of us want that.
All right then, send him over. Can't believe they're willing to make the trip in these conditions.
All right, just got done talking to them. You're good to go. They're waiting for you. Now I can take you on my crane, and I can drop you over to one of the buggies. But remember, you're gonna need something to trade.
Tell them about your best friend. The meaning of friendship. But don't mention that your friend is a trash compactor. Just tell them the meaning of friendship.
Well, let's hope they value a good.
And how we beat that,
Or bad
that
story.
gang group. I forget their names.
Okay. Yep. No, that was the story of my life. Let's just hope somebody wants to read it. Like that Marine
What?
Corps commercial.
What? The
Wow.
hell?
I don't quite remember the commercial, but it was something like, if there was a book.
If there's a book about your life, would anybody read it?
Yeah.
If there's a book
Essentially,
written about your life. Come join Mass Effect here on the Citadel. For
With David Keith.
Commander Anderson.
What happened to the moment you were scaling a mountain and all of a sudden you fought a dragon at the top? And it's like, yeah, that's what you do. And it's like, nah, you don't. You don't do any of that. Not even close.
That doesn't happen.
No, you don't. You don't slay any dragons. No, the Crucible isn't actually a dragon fight. That's what I thought.
Lies.
Right. Nets.
Awful.
I mean, we can formulate the anti
We'll go to just. We'll
propaganda.
bring this over to
trailer
just chatting after the stream. Riveting convo.
Yeah, that might be pretty popular, Enzer. Trash talk the Marine Corps. That's these days.
It'd be real popular.
Yep.
So popular.
So the Tink starts to pull up next to Bastion. And you see the crane start to shift over to the side, and the dense, thick metal hook just starts to descend along the left side of the vehicle as it's the length of the chain that's connected to the hook is being taken by the force and just sort of like being pulled to the back as the tow truck is driving forward.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go into my pile of things in the. You said that I can just open up the back seat compartment to the trunk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that and start rummaging through my stuff, and there'll be like a little toolbox, like a small little handyman's toolbox that I'm gonna crack open and grab a pile of papers out and shove them into my jacket pocket. Lock everything back up and then get ready to die.
Okay, pile of papers acquired.
Wow.
You see as you look up after shoving the papers into whatever compartment you have on your persons in your jacket, maybe the hook just sort of like dangling across the back left side window as the wind is just taking it, lifting it up a little bit.
I'm gonna grab onto it.
Okay. So you roll the window down. The air hits you once more. It's actually very humid inside of this storm. As the window rolls down, heat smacks you. Dampness, uncomfortable dampness smacks you as well. Go ahead and give me a Dex plus Athletics.
I'm gonna throw on 2 points of luck. Get another 15.
Your back, like your last foot, just slips off the window seal as you're reaching for it, and you just grab on and sort of like flop your entire body around this hook that's now pressing into your abdomen as your feet are dangling on the ground as the tips of your toes scrape in the ground and touch the ground as they're thrown up into the air. Kind of dangerous as the hook starts to pull you up and ascend you higher into the air away from the ground. It starts to rotate you around the back of the tow truck, and you hear some talking in the tow truck, and you see one of the other vehicles from your position. Literally with your limbs curled around this chain, grabbing on for your life, as this is the only thing that's sort of keeping you aloft within this caravan, within this rad storm. And you see one of the buggies sort of like pull off from their formation and align themselves with the back of the vehicle as you're being dangled right above them. They do have a platform built onto the top of their buggies. Again, all of these vehicles are custom to the point where, like, you can just hang off the side, you can stand on the top, or you can, even some of them have chairs. This one doesn't have a chair, just got like a flat top with some handles on it, and some lightning stick quivers on the back of the vehicle with large antennas arcing off the back of the vehicle as well. And it is a, just like everything else, it's a purple vehicle. Purple and blue are the different colors that percolate, and the throughout this caravan. And you can see that now that it gets closer, the top is coated, and now you see most of the sides, and the entire vehicle's frame is coated in purple suede.
Whoa!
Like Soul Train.
These are the
They got
seats.
style. Bringing it back, I see. Didn't think it
very
was
well.
possible. Sorry, so I am now like I have arrived, or do I need to make that check?
You need to make that check. So you're dangling on a hook above the top of this buggy that's pulled itself into position.
Can
as
I
the-
like give the, or, like, you know, yank and wave and just try to get the crane operators? Is the crane operator Howland?
Howland?
Howland! Lay me down! I'm ready! Into position!
Ah, you got the jump.
I gotta jump!
Aye. That's normal. Any lower and it might damage his windshield. Then I'll owe him something.
You're gonna make it
You're the
all
only one
round
who's
up,
part of
huh?
this deal here.
Alright, whatever, fine. Gotta prove myself. Here it goes! I'll,
You're only about 3 feet above it. Like, you're not.
a curb could be, you know, the end of my walking days if I don't
It's true for
step
everybody.
off properly. Okay, well, I'm gonna unhook myself, or sorry, I guess just let go and aim for the...
Bushes?
Okay, go ahead and give me a Dex plus athletics.
Hey, 15, another 8.
Okay, thankfully you just let go, close your eyes, and just hope for the best before you feel your body press aggressively against this smooth suede is what your cheek feels as you successfully are not flown off of the vehicle or rocked in any way that would jeopardize your position. But you have let go of the crane that then sort of retracts its hook and retracts the length of the crane as well as it descends back into position. And looking out as the window rolls down is this blue mohawked individual with just regular thick lensed glasses that actually amplify the look of his eyes to encompass the entirety of the lenses.
Oh, hey! How you doing there? What are you doing in my car?
I'm here to fix it. The name is Tink, and that's what I do. How about you? Who are you? Who do I have the
Oh.
pleasure?
Welcome to Binge's Bungee. What can I do for ya?
You're not
What
the
is happening
Garden
right now?
or Ion or Dimseeker?
Who told you that? I can
Okay,
take
well,
you to them
that's
for a price.
Okay. What do you have in mind? Wait. Let me set.
What you got?
I have something just for you. And so he's just in the driver's seat, did you say?
Yeah.
He's poking his head out?
Yeah.
Anybody in the passenger seat?
Nope.
Roll down the window and I'll step inside your office.
Aye, alright. What are you gonna trade first?
I don't want to lose my vehicle, my valuables. Let me get inside and I'll show you.
A man of your age making the jump is quite impressive, I guess. That alone's enough to get a seat in here. But
You know what?
Want me to take
Hey,
you somewhere?
hold on to that. I'll use the... If I impressed you, then that's my service right there. Now,
No, I don't think so. I didn't get anything from it.
what?
You gotta give me something.
Entertainment!
Benji's buggy ain't for free. You pressed your face against my suede. I think you owe me a bit.
It was nice. Okay, fine. Now roll down the window.
My head's sticking out. It's already rolled down.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna.
Apparently have some portion of your caravan of the Quasars are Scottish or some
It's fine.
awful version of it.
We roll around and mix with everything, so it's fine.
I'm gonna climb
Got some
in.
Hungarian, got some Scottish, got some Chinese,
Okay.
got some everything.
Oh, wow. I glimpsed you a little bit. You're the one helping Howlin'.
Yes, that's me. Tink. The Howland Helper, they say.
You're great, Benji. As I told you before, what you got for me?
Alright, just hold on.
You're stinking up my seats there, geriatric Patrick.
Okay, enough with the language. Here.
I'm gonna pull out a bunch of papers. The papers from the trunk. And
Now, this is quite valuable, so... You know... You're gonna want to hold on to this. It's an IOU. For a big... It was a big ticket item that I had spent 2 weeks fixing. They're good for it. They told me so. So, here you go. Just, the name and the number should be on the back of there. You just call them up, tell them it's from Tink, and you're good to go.
This is what? You'll fix my vehicle or who will? What is this for?
2 weeks of service.
2 weeks of service. What does that mean?
Means it's the cost of 2 weeks of service. That's it right there. Here.
So after this, I get you for 2 weeks?
No, you cash in with Archibald good for it.
Archibald good for it.
I'm sorry, I'm actually confused as to what you're pitching here. Is this just an IOU that is useless?
he doesn't think it's useless. He genuinely thinks that this piece of paper...
But does this piece of paper actually get Benji anything?
Of course not.
No. It's like
Okay.
in Dumb and Dumber when...
Go ahead and give me a cool plus bribery. Or persuasion.
Well, cool. Another thing I am not. I'll use my remaining 2 points of luck to get me 14.
Oh, you said you're going over to the garden, you did. I don't know what this means, to be honest. I guess there's someone you know. I call this number. What's on here?
You know what? Here, this might actually be more valuable to you. In a system where everything is traded, an IOU could be invaluable. This is a new system that you could incorporate. People could, exchange services now, pay later. All you have to do is write down IOU and what it's good for. And you already have one. That's like a bonus right there. Boom.
Go ahead and give me a cool plus persuasion at advantage.
The best I got is 9.
I'm gonna chime in and he gets me like, what, are you doing okay over there, Tink? What is, you bartering all well?
Oh, hey.
Bartering going well? Yeah, if you need money, remember, I always have some for you. I can always transfer you some if you want, but other than that, you know.
He starts
How
to
about
pull you
this?
up next to the tow truck again, and he's just like, I think you should get out.
Wow.
Well, here. Give me that IOU.
I
Very
transfer you like
well.
800 credits, I guess. Just do that. Just give him this. Give him this. Tell him it's for. Tell him it's for.
It would.
I don't think you've been. It's not been worth it for me. I'll be honest. This IOU of yours.
Try
Well,
and haggle
you're
with it.
missing out then. Well, I'm away. Just point me to the garden.
No, I don't think you get it. It wasn't enough for me to even drive a small distance. Your IOU.
Well, how about this?
It's nothing. It's make-believe, innit? And that's what you're selling me, is some make-believe trade.
No. It does require a system of belief and trust. You gotta have some trust. Have you ever trusted anybody?
Yeah, every member of the Quasar that's proved themselves to me. You're not a member of the Quasar, and you haven't proven yourself to me, that's for sure.
Okay, well.
I was willing to do Howlin' a favor, but you threw me a piece of paper that said, I owe you.
How about this? I am quite good at fixing up stuff. Your vehicle seems to be in great working condition. If it is ever not, then call me. You can cash in that IOU.
Okay, go ahead and do another cool plus persuasion at advantage again. If this fails, then
You're dead.
he's like, his finger's hovering over an ejection button. It looks just like a spring coil.
14.
You know, fine. I guess I'll give you a chance. An IOU means, he just like rips the paper out of your hand, puts it, like sticks it in, like a crevice in his dash, so he can just like see it, and it can be accessible. You're telling me I can
Excuse
total my vehicle and you'll come and fix it right away, right?
Look. That's my IOU. For me. I was willing to give it to you. And I am. But you don't understand the system. I have to write you an IOU. You can't just take the one I give you. Well, you can if I give it
All right,
to you,
I'm
but
confused now.
Here.
What do you even want here?
Where's the paper? You got something to write with?
No, you're the one who brought the paper in here.
Oh,
I
God.
don't need no paper.
Okay, you know what? Here, just... Well, you...
Oh,
That thing I said didn't work.
Waterworld,
now.
yeah.
God.
Paper. Plus paper.
Oh,
Paper.
paper.
It's a pretty flexible system. So just,
You know what? I'll just, what do I gotta do to get you out of my vehicle?
Now that's a trade!
He just rolls down the window as the wind just hits you. Only your window, and the window behind you, just in case. Alright, now, garden, right? Yeah, I saw it smoking a little bit. Looks like you could need a repairman or whatever your profession is there, old man. And he just sort of like starts driving towards the collection of Goldilocks vehicles. Right, yeah, get out. Get out.
You got it!
He's like pulling up like only a few feet to any of the vehicles in the Goldilocks sort of like system of the caravan.
I'll
Look, that's a window right there. You can grab onto it. A handle, door handle. Try not to pull it.
I'm gonna climb out
just-
the window and leap as soon as we're within
Yep. Goodbye.
range.
And go ahead and roll a Dex
You're
plus
lost!
athletics. You notice you are down one IOU piece of paper as you jump. Nope, this is mine.
It's like, I'm just saying, like, as you're jumping, the car's like pulling away, like, oh, it's gone.
12.
Okay. You take 3 points of damage as you smack your body into the side of a large armored truck.
Oh, God!
You manage to grab onto one of the pieces of one of the bars along the outside. There are a few bars. And you are part of a collection of about 5-6 vehicles barreling forward. Most of them are either very large vans Some of them are those sort of like bank armored vehicles. And there is one of those vehicles that just sort of like holds one of those like huge water tanks. You don't know if there's water inside or not, but there's like a pretty decent collection of large vehicles where you're at right now, as you're sort of like hanging onto the side of one, peeking your head over the top. You can try and find where the garden is.
Can I? Can I just look around for the smoke?
Yeah.
Vehicle that's looks like it's not doing too hot.
Yep.
14.
Okay. You actually see in the very center, as you look from vehicle to vehicle, a garden. What could be the garden? The best description you got was that there was something wrong with the engine. So you look from sort of like the front of the vehicle to front of the vehicle. Especially working in an auto shop, you know that some of the vehicles you look in different areas where the engine is as opposed to the front, and you see that in the very center there is a well-worn security truck, one of those bank security trucks, with a neon sign with a pill on it that's highlighted on the side of the truck. And you see this small cloud of smoke, not necessarily billowing, just sort of lightly exiting the front engine compartment in front of the windshield, the first windshield at the front of the vehicle. And you can see some sparks periodically sort of just like fly out from the seams of the engine compartment.
I will get a hold of the driver, or try to get a hold of the driver of this vehicle.
You're on another vehicle that's like in front and to the left. You're driving with the caravan right now, so you're still separated away. You have to make another jump, or like climb up onto the vehicle that you're currently on.
I get it. Wait, but aren't I on it?
You're not on the garden. No, not at all.
No, not the garden. But I am on a vehicle. I understand.
Yeah, you're on the side of a vehicle on the outside perimeter.
Right. So I'm gonna try to make my way to the driver's side or somebody within this vehicle to start talking to them.
Oh, this vehicle, not. Yeah. Okay. You see a guy with a fro, super poofy fro. Got what looks to be like Vash glasses, circular John Lennon glasses, driving, dark skin, tattoos lining down their arms as well, a simple sort of tank top with a lot of necklaces lining down the center of various different kinds of gems and jewels. And it's one of those like driving, then you knock, and then they sort of like whip their head to the side like, what the? Yeah. Just sort of like rolls the window down very slightly. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it hanging?
Hey, you tell me, you're the one hanging.
I got this flip phone here. If you take me over to the garden, it's yours.
What the hell's a flip phone?
It's a mysterious object, a relic from the past. It was highly sought after, and it was a gem.
Go ahead and roll, as like an eyebrow raises, go ahead and roll a cool plus persuasion.
I heard those were prisons back in the day, actually. People couldn't get their eyes off of them once they got them.
Did you say at advantage or no?
No.
6.
Yeah, I've seen those things before. They're only good for chucking at people because they don't quite get destroyed.
It is pretty good for that. It chucks pretty well.
Security options.
Might say so myself.
Yeah, I think I'll just stick to this. And he pulls out like a big knife in the middle of his fingers.
That's a good knife, though. What happens? Don't you want to keep that? This right here is bona fide
Disposable.
alternative option.
Okay, that'll give you another advantage, but this will be your last one. Just one more roll.
My character's stats are so low.
Use your luck.
It's all used.
So, I mean, Netra or Astraea, you guys can try and find a way to pitch in if you want. We'll say that he's saying this over the radio.
I'm like, Jay. I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry. The losing Jay is still fresh in my mind. Tink,
What's up?
are you not trading with anybody as you go through this? As you're trying to get to the garden?
They don't appreciate my valuables.
Yeah, let's just go with old-fashioned credits. Put me on with the driver. Yes.
Astraea, you've been bringing in some cheapos here.
What?
Who am I speaking with right now? What car is this?
Cycle transfer. You should know me.
All I see is a bunch of dust and him and an old body moving from car
That
to car.
hurts me, Astraea.
I see dust. I mean, I think I see. No, that's not you either. I see a shadow. Yes, I remember you. How's it going? How's your kids?
Really warms my heart. You know they died.
Oh my god.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry. I had a recent head injury in the city that boggled my memory a little bit. So
A head injury. Well, my children died.
I'm
Astraea.
gonna try to
Anyways, yes.
place
Tink.
my hand on his hand and be like,
I'm so sorry for your loss. If you ever need anybody, I'll trade you my time to talk through your
Oh
feelings.
God. You headed to the garden?
Yes.
I'll transfer you 400 credits.
Look-
How about that? 400 credits to get into the garden.
Astraea, you have yourself a deal.
Okay.
We're headed there. I'll trade you just to get off my damn vehicle.
Well,
Nobody wants you on their vehicle.
turns out I am pretty valuable after all.
You're worth 400 credits there, Jay. I mean, Tink.
Maybe
Sorry
use,
again.
use that as a bargaining chip as soon as you get to the next vehicle.
He's
I'll
taking
trade you my absence.
My absence is highly sought after.
no more vehicles. Go directly to the garden, please. Please, my mom's getting very impatient here. She's giving me that look. If you remember that look.
Well, you heard the lady.
Just picturing Lucy.
Step on it.
He starts pulling in. He sort of like gives, rolls down the opposite window, waves down the garden, and starts to pull up next to it and become even with it as the vehicle behind them sort of shifts backward, giving them enough room to pull up next to them. And so now the vehicles are separated by another about 3 feet. Yeah. So you just have to pull yourself on top and find a way to jump over to the other vehicle.
do I have to do a check to pull myself up on top?
I would say we can just make the whole thing an athletics check.
Fantastic.
Can I transfer over some of my luck to him?
He's gonna die.
It's a glorious 10.
Just a 10?
Yeah.
It's like,
As you're pulling yourself over the ledge, like as you're like hoisting yourself up over, your torso makes it, and your last footfall presses on top of a bar to try and push yourself up farther, and your toes just slip, and your body smacks onto the top of the vehicle, and you just start sliding off of the edge.
like I gave you
Oh,
400
God!
goals. 400.
Sliding towards the back of the vehicle. Go ahead and give me another dexterity plus athletics. If you don't get above a 12, you fall
like
off.
400 credits better make him make it, okay? All right, you better drive real good.
Oh, you didn't put that responsibility on me as we made the
400
deal.
credits did put that responsibility on you. He's part of this family, okay?
Not for long.
And if he doesn't make it, the
I got a 9.
garden's gonna be gone. So
These newcomers better be worth it, Astraea.
he's gonna fix the garden. I mean, I have to say, I'm truly sorry about your children, but this will save many more.
As as you start sliding off of the back, it goes, well, I can't say this will work out for the best. Not even I know. And you just hear this boop. And you hear shifting of mechanisms within the vehicle for a brief second before shink! Spikes just exit the top rim of the vehicle and insert themselves into your leg as you're now hooked onto the side as you're like the other spikes sort of catch the rest of your body before it falls off, but like the entire rim of the top of the vehicle is just like
So I've been impaled.
You've been impaled, yeah.
As I see this spray of blood, I'm just like, thank you kindly.
You take 5 points of damage.
Thank you kindly for saving him. Yeah, Netra, do you have Vitalith ready in the trunk?
Yeah, he was kind of old. I don't know what that could have done to him. But he didn't fall off, which would have been certain death, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Just ask my children.
Again, this will save all the other children. Yes, it will save them. I mean, I feel sorry for Dolly and Jake.
The comms just go dead. Actually, you can roll like you can roll a intelligence plus local expert.
Yeah, local expert. Yeah.
I would say add advantage because this is part of your crew.
So I guess 16 because it was 5 before. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the initial names that you came up with.
Dolly and Jake.
Dolly and Jake. I need to write that down.
Dolly and Jake. Yeah, Dolly because she used to do a lot of
Molly.
work for like hauling things away. We weren't gonna mention the Molly.
Molly for Dolly.
And Jake just because I don't know why you named him Jake.
Because he's always awake. Born during the Great Quake.
That's just Netra. Just ignore her. She's got waist sickness.
Okay, so you've got a
I got what?
waist sickness. So you've got a spike into your leg, and you are being held by it currently as the two large vehicles are still pressing forward alongside each other.
Oh God!
I'm gonna pop the trunk so that Vitalith can get out and get to...
Vitalith flies, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna pop
hopefully
the
he
trunk.
go fast enough. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm ahead of that one car, right? The
I don't mean to
Garnet?
metagame, but I would wait there. I don't. Let's just say this. I have 3 health.
Oh, you guys got a night's rest, so put your body back into your
I thought
health
I thought
points.
the whole thing was that we didn't get a full night's rest.
No. The concept was that you were so fatigued that your body would just naturally compensate with the time that you did have. So the about 3 hours that you got of sleep acted as a full night's rest.
Power
Didn't
nap.
add much. But yeah, I would.
But Vitalith is good to go for
if I
3
am
more healing.
stable, or at least not in immediate danger, other than this spike through my leg, then I'm probably as an old man, realizing how old and close to death he is, like literally right now. Probably gonna stop there.
What they used to be. What they used to be.
As you're like your body's just like hanging over the side, your leg is impaled. You see the window roll down of the garden, and you see this guy with a beanie on and this really long beard braided with sort of like neon discs throughout. As the beard sort of like sticks over and then flops out. It's like, hey, you that guy that Alan said is gonna fix the garden?
No, I'm the guy who died on the way.
So like, what are we gonna do about the garden then, man? And like, as the window rolls down, a cloud of smoke just gets taken by the wind.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'd like to send Vital.
Your system sucks.
How Vital is in the trunk. How you?
Yeah,
I guess
pop
you
to
do
the
have
trunk.
comms. Yeah, but you have to sort of instruct Vital.
While I've been sitting here, I was thinking of a better system to improve. Like, obviously, this is not gonna win you guys over. Me right now dying on this roof, but trust me, when we get to our destination, I'm not leaving here without implementing a better system. Cause this, wow, call me crazy, you guys. Let's just say I got a treat for you, free of charge. It will save lives.
As you're saying this, you see one person hop from another truck onto the garden and just grab on, and you hear a sort of dim conversation happening on the other side of the garden's vehicle, and the person who's hopped onto the truck like reaches their arm in, grabs something, puts it in their pocket, gives them something, and just like pulls himself up and jumps off onto the other vehicle, jumps like leans down to the driver's side of the vehicle that they jumped on, knocks on the window, hands them something, turns around, and just jumps off onto the next buggy, and repeats the process before they make it back onto one of the satellite vehicles.
They've been doing this for
I
quite
must
some
be
time.
dreaming. I've already died. Was that real?
What real?
Never mind. My idea seems less valuable now, but I'm thinking through some stuff that will still be helpful. Anyway, you got anything for stab wounds?
I mean, if you do what you were supposed to do, what Howland said you were gonna do, what you were good for, you're good for it, right? We got some supplies for you, ready for a pickup for Howland.
Wow, what is your name?
The name's Dimseeker, bruh.
Oh,
Dim
wow.
Seeker the jerk face. Okay, got it. All right.
Seeker the Dumb.
All right. Well, just give me a minute. I just need 5 more minutes. Do you see the spike in my leg? Can you see that?
Look, there wasn't much options I had, okay? You'd rather have a spike in your leg than being trampled by wheels, right?
Actually, you know what? You got a point there. Thank you. Tell your driver I said thank you.
You got a handhold.
I suppose so, yeah.
Zoom.
The spike so
Oh no, bring it back!
Oh my God.
Spike me!
they shift back up and just pierce another one of your legs.
Thank you!
You take 3 points of damage.
Oh my God.
Get on the other car.
Now is he even less?
Get on the other car.
Yes, I am at even less.
Than before? No, you're at 5 now, right?
The
Yeah.
you hear this, and the top panel of the engine, like of the garden, just sort of like a puff of smoke billows out of it. Sparks shoot from all of the seams, and it flaps into the air and slams back down as the vehicle itself sort of like gets sent a little bit back into the caravan as it stalls for a second before pulling forward again.
Yeah, you can take your 5 minutes, man. Sure, no problems here.
You see that vehicle?
Like it.
That's how I'm feeling right now, okay? So bear with me.
Looks like you were meant for each other.
You know what? I'm gonna get up, but I'm gonna take 2 of these spikes with me.
You just like break out your tools and undo them.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip them off.
Both spikes you choose have portions of your blood on them. The ones that went through your legs.
I'm gonna use my special ability, Jury Rig, to make little like little spikes that I can use to like latch or like slam into a vehicle.
So like unscrew them, tape or like pull out tape from your jacket around the sort of like spinny screw parts that insert themselves into the rigging on top that sort of like shoots out out of the sides. Unscrew it, tape it, and now you have 2 sort of like spike daggers that you can use to leap from vehicle to vehicle. The 2 spike daggers that smell of Tim blood, or not Tim blood, that smell of Tink blood.
Old person blood.
It's the smell of a an old person hospital.
I'm offended. But yes. And I will let them know.
I'm ready. Bring me to her.
No, you gotta get over here. You gotta get over. You gotta come.
Wait, what?
You have to make the jump. They can't like get more to you.
No, I'm talking to the people at the vehicle that I'm on top of right now.
Oh, you're telling them to what?
Are we like side by side with the
Yeah,
garden?
yeah. The garden sort of like was the engine had some troubles and then had to pull up again, but they're still in tandem right now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna.
Any closer? That's danger close, man.
I'm
Just
gonna.
gotta make the leap of faith, bruh.
Shut up!
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna jump.
Okay, go ahead and make a dexterity plus athletics.
Fantastic. I've gotten so much better in this process.
I would say you can do it at advantage with the spike. With the spike
Sweet.
things that you made.
Ten.
Wow.
You've asked an old man
Yeah.
to jump from
You
vehicle
jump-
to vehicle.
You jump
Doing
over.
some Mad Max stuff.
You
the
climb.
reason why-
You pierce yourself and climb yourself like ice climbing up to the front of the vehicle that you're currently on, and there's just a riot of Scottish swear words as it's just like, "Oh, what you do you step on there, mate?" And
Shut up!
You bring.
Oh my
yourself-
god.
Yeah, you like see them look up through the hole that you've made through their vehicle.
It's
and they're looking at
cosmetic.
you, and you just shove your mouth through the hole and just say, "Shut up!" And then you pull it out.
I'm gonna stick my tongue in there.
Oh my god.
Astraea, who have you brought into the Quasars? As they just hear, "Voom!" leap from the top in a slam and a on top of the garden. You've smacked down onto the top of their the front portion of the armored vehicle. You've smacked their engine hood. Thank you. Hood.
door.
Their engine sliding door. Their engine hood down, and it clicks and sort of like you've pressed it down and it's found it sort of like, ooh. And then you wait a second, and then it just explodes, sending you up in the air, slapping you down onto the vehicle, and you stick both spikes in, and it sort of pulls you along to the side of the vehicle as one arm is up onto the engine hood, pierced inside, flames just... Another one, or your other arm, sort of is like flapping along the side As the the driver starts to roll down the window, and the passenger just sort of like puts his arm on his shoulder and just shakes his head, and the driver's like,
I see that.
he's gesturing to the damaged engine. He's just like, you gonna.
Oh, I see how it is.
He just like holds a bag filled with meds to the window
I can fix you.
and points at the meds and then points at the engine that just goes and you just like slap yourself up against the side once again. Not enough to take damage this time, but you did roll a 9, I think.
9 or 10 or something like that.
Yeah, so you're on the garden currently, hanging on the side. The engine is smoking way more than it was before you made it there, and the denizens inside of the garden are not opening up for you.
Wow. Do I have
They
to do I have to make a
look
check
over to the other vehicle where the guy is just like pointing at the holes in his roof.
I'm just the man for the job. Do I have to make a check to get back, like to stabilize myself?
No, I would say
pretty precarious right now.
I would say that Tink might be, you let me know, fed up enough and experienced enough that he's already on the vehicle. You can climb your way regardless of the damage that you do thanks to the piercing of the vehicle, like to a portion on the engine. And thankfully, like, this kind of work has been done before, so there are holds across the perimeter of the hood.
Now I see them.
Oh, the hold system.
Okay, well, I'm gonna grab onto those holds and pull myself up and like on the front, like the bumper area of the car.
A lot of heat you feel, included with the already humidity that you're barreling through in this storm. Heat from the engine is just washing across your body. You go from already kind of dirty and oil grimy Tink to like the blackness of the engine air sort of washes across your body and your eyes are looking through a black coated skin.
This is what I love, baby. It's why I do it.
I'm just gonna quickly look behind me, which should be in front of the car, just to see if there's any like crazy potholes or anything coming up that I should brace for.
Just slowly shifting caravan vehicles as you're in the thickest portion of the caravan.
Okay, cool. Well, then I will quickly start to do my checks and assess what the hell's going on here.
Opening the
hood.
Okay. As you open it, another sort of like billow of smoke comes out and coats you. Go ahead and give me an intelligence plus. You can either do perception. I would say perception, tracking, education, or local expert to try and see what the problem might be.
12.
Okay. It's actually not very difficult to see what the problem is. As the layer of smoke leaves, it starts to trail from one portion in particular. There is the line of pistons shifting up and down from the engine, and in the middle of that line, 2-3 pistons are stuck trying to fulfill their movement and their purpose, but it looks like something is jamming them together. Is jamming those pistons, causing the majority of the smoke. And then there's also the portion that you stabbed.
I'm gonna bust out. I'm gonna bust out my air compressor.
Okay.
And try and blast out whatever is jammed between the pistons.
Okay.
In or around them.
What is your tech check for things like this? Is it tech plus basic tech?
Basic tech. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then give me a tech plus basic tech.
Natural 10.
Oh wow, yeah, you just like take the air compressor right up to the point that it's stuck out at, and this as you you spray in between, blowing all of the smoke away and focusing in on this small little. It's got like small, it's almost like a spider. It's a metal bug that's stuck in there, and as you spray the air, it just sort of like shifts it inside, in between the pistons, and then just shoots it out towards the back of the engine.
Can I try and catch it?
Go ahead and give me a Dex plus Athletics.
Wait, are you sticking your hand through pistons and everything?
Well, no, I mean, obviously, if it would not if it goes deeper into the engine, but like pops out or something. Nah, 9.
The
10.
silver metallic bug slaps up against the back, the underside of the hood, and latches onto it and just crawls around the hood and starts crawling away as the pistons start to.
I'm gonna pop over and be like, "Well, I fixed one problem, but it looks like you had some kind of infestation. Should probably look into that. Never seen anything like that before."
What do you mean, man? An infestation of what? I got rid of that.
Clearly you didn't, but I did.
I know it could affect vehicles. I gotta be careful.
Right. Well, back to work.
I'd say you'd need one more roll to get rid of the damage that you specifically did, as a few components are just beaten down.
Wow.
It's tilted a little bit.
It's a 10.
What is it total?
17.
Wow, that's still pretty good. But the as you say, something along the lines of just one more problem. I got it though. The hood just rips off the front portion, smacks into their windshield, cracks it, and just slides off and gets taken by the wind.
Woohoo!
As the black smoke poofs up once more and then disappears across, revealing you and your blackened form with your eyes just looking dead at the guy with the beanie on inside and the beard, and he's just like,
"Found your problem. Don't worry, I took care of it.
There's too much hood.
It needed some proper airflow in here."
You can make another roll if you'd like.
Uh, 21.
As you like, your eyes lock for a while longer. You just slowly dip your eyes down to the engine and start getting to work. It doesn't take long. It's mostly superficial damage that you did to it. The bug was the cause of the majority of the problems, but you're able to fix what you can, especially in your sort of hurried. What was it? Instead of ghetto, it was jerry-rigged.
Jury.
Is it jury?
Jury.
Oh, jury-rigged. I thought it was jerry-rigged.
Because of Jerry.
Jerry. Your jury rigging expertise, the black smoke disappears, but the engine is laid to bear for the world, the elements of the world to assault it. But it's working. It's functioning now. Like the vehicle even starts to, even your ride goes from shaky to smooth as you've fixed the last piece that you see needs the majority of the fixing. And the guy goes, you know, I didn't know what to think there for like literally up until now, but she's purring, baby. Come here and get your meds, brother.
I don't. You youngsters, yeah, let's do this. Give him to me.
Wow. Real smooth.
Holds a very thick bag up to the window and rolls the window down, and he just like holds the bag out.
What
Says everything Howlin asked for.
You kind soul.
I will take them. How big is it?
It's almost like a sack, almost. Like it's hard to tell exactly what's inside here, but it seems like quite a few items are.
I mean, like, is it like a grocery bag? Are there handles on it? Can I just like?
It's a big plastic bag,
Wow.
a Ziploc.
Wow.
You can't put this in something better for me to traverse this stupid situation with?
Nobody else seems to have a problem. They bring their own sacks, man. They have backpacks. You got one?
Fantastic. It's too bad you are one short. I'm pretty sure he asked for another one. They're not all here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you're one short.
One short of what?
Bag
Med
of
things.
drugs.
Oh, you're just trying to get more?
No. Trying to.
He was
Well,
promised.
Yes, I am.
Okay, do a cool plus persuasion. As a look of absolute confusion crosses the guy's face. And he looks at the bag, and you see his eyes darting across all the items located in the bag, and even like feels it as the steering wheel dips to the left, and he sort of like grabs it again and corrects himself. Oh man! And he looks to his buddy on the right side, and he goes, you sort of like don't hear the conversation going on, and the buddy's like, and he just sighs, and he reaches back and he throws something in the bag, and he goes, okay, here you go. Hope Howland's happy.
Oh, he's gonna love this. Thanks. Wouldn't want to have come up short. Came all this way and just to get stiff. Is that what they call it these days? All right, well,
Hey, if you want to get stiff, you go over to another one of the Goldilocks vehicles, okay? It's not over here.
I'll remember that.
Old
So,
man stiff.
How many credits to get me back over to Howland?
Oh, I can't leave where I'm at. We're essential. That's what Tetra calls us anyway.
What about one of them
You're gonna
satellites?
have to jump, bro. You made it over here so well.
Look here, kid! I ain't jumping again.
Could Netra, could you pick Jay or Tink up, maybe?
Netra, you do have the only air car here.
I thought it.
There are air bikes, but it can sail about 20 feet is the highest it can sail, but it can still like.
I'm gonna push the button for air car.
It's
Hovering.
always hovering.
Oh, it's always hovering.
Yeah,
I thought it
wheels
switched.
don't sort of go up and down. It is an air car, 100%.
You
Okay.
just change the height of it, like.
I guess I'll change the height of it and fall back to where he's at.
Okay, give me a reflex plus driving. Tink, give me a dex plus athletics.
Do I have
All
to?
the luck.
If you guys get an average of
I got a 19.
I was gonna say an average of 30.
Use your luck. Use your.
I don't have any luck.
I'm using my luck.
How much luck?
All of
The
it.
rest of it, which is 4. So what is that? 19. It's
I
not
rolled a
enough.
1.
I got 24. You're dead.
Wait, you don't have dexterity or?
No,
That's
I am
it?
an old man. No.
You don't have anything that. You have a 3 there. That's 4. 24. Do you have 2 more points in something?
I have no well, I don't. Oh, sorry. I have 2 athletics and 3 dex.
Boom, we just barely made it. 30.
2 athletics and 3 dex. That's 5, and you got a 1, so it's a total of 6. And you got a 19, and you added 4. That's actually 1 not enough. That is a 29.
I thought you had a 24.
That's right.
'Cause she used
Shut the fuck up. You got a 19.
No, I know. I'm saying that I counted wrong. My bad.
Oh, okay.
We're 1 short.
Throw your jumbo
Okay,
cables
so
out.
as like this Free Willy scene of you very low on the front of the engine, like reaching up, and you see the air car of Bastion, the familiar sight, sort of like pull over you, and as you like try and like, all right, you see one of the handles, okay, now's the time. You jump up, and the air car just sort of like pulls back for a second as you just like jump up, and then you're off of every portion of any vehicle, just like mid-air right now, as your Bastion passes you once again, just like right over you, but it's just a little too shy. And you close your eyes as now the
Can I like
the
message Light Rider?
the garden has pulled ahead of you, so you're just like mid-air right now. Bastion is just over you, passing you right now. You're not high enough to grab anything, and you close your eyes like, this is the worst. Why did I leave?
Can we get one
And
of
you
those
notice you're
slow-mo
not-
anime like sparkles? Like, yes, this nightmare is over.
Yes, and then you realize that a second has passed, another second, and hanging out of the bottom, you are very confused as you see 2 arcing white ears leaning out
Max
of the
money.
door with a spiked vest on, just looking at you and shaking their head as you're holding on to this, like the components
Oh
are
my
stretching and
God.
snapping right now of the bunny that's just leaning out of the door, holding on to you. If you don't make anything above a 1 this time, you will fall to the ground and take an insane amount of damage. But you have 1 chance to make
Don't
anything
use
above a
that
1.
Could I message
Dice.
Light Rider and be like, Light Rider, look, Netra will
Use-
will
Wait,
rematch
what
you
about
if you
this dice?
save Tink
No,
right
it's not.
now.
Use a different one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Fine. Use that.
I
Oh,
gotta
use
put you
the
on the
jade
spot,
dice.
Netra. So, I'm sorry, but Light Rider's gonna help you.
You just get
Wait, what?
confirmation. You get a text scroll across your own HUD, Astraea.
Where's-
Again, sort of like
Oh, it's
phasing
down
in and
here.
out of confirmation.
What about this
light
one?
white letters.
Like, okay.
This one?
Just,
Yes.
just in case.
Boo 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 boo.
Yay! He's not dead yet. A stuffed animal saved him.
Jeez, that is...
Bunny
Wha-
Max. All right, Bunny Max, good. Glad we brought him along then.
Best comrade ever.
Yeah, as you start to pull yourself up and the components are still stretching and snapping, you just barely, as the arm, there's like 1 final cord between its, like 1 portion of its small little paw and the larger portion connecting to its torso. Right before it snaps, you just grab onto one of the seat belts and pull yourself in, which is incredibly difficult for someone of your age after going through what you just did. And the bunny's still sort of like futilely, sort of like like grabbing your fabric. It's not really helping, but he's just like, get in. And
I'm just like, deal's off, Light Rider. He got it in himself. It looks like you didn't do
we
much.
had a deal. It
You didn't do
scrolls
much.
It scrolls
You didn't
across.
do anything. Did you touch him once? Nah. Remember, you have to do something to get paid for it.
You owe me. I have to take up my position again as it scrolls across.
I'll throw him 100 creds. Like there, get yourself a faster bike.
It returns. It bounces back. The check bounces as he goes, I want a rematch.
So I'll face you then.
Just 2 letters. Okay.
Fine. Later. After we get through this storm. Keep it on put it on your calendar.
Jeez. Woo! You made it.
Barely.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think he was supposed to make it.
You think?
No, he would have been trampled by
This
a
whole
few
process
vehicles.
is not designed for elderly. This is the least accessible
Yeah.
process
Like,
ever.
Nobody's too old in this caravan.
Looks like we need to put handicap ramps on all of our vehicles now, Astraea.
Don't mind him. He's just getting back into the groove, mother. He's just getting. He fell way out of it. I mean, not even in the same state, continent.
As you make it back into the vehicle, you just hear this,
Woo! Ah, yeah! Woo!
this sort of like cheers erupt from the rest of the caravan as Tetra goes, nobody of his age has actually ever made that kind of trip before. We stopped jumping after about 40, honestly, because we don't normally make it to that age.
How old are you, Tink? I never actually asked. You never asked for age, but I'll ask right now.
I don't know. Kind of stopped counting.
After 50? 60? After 80?
I want to say early 80s.
He's probably the oldest man in the world, Mom. I'm not too sure, but he's probably triple Light Rider's age, double my age, so yeah, he's...
Maybe 70.
Does that put it more in perspective to you?
Howlin, what were you thinking?
Ah! You know you made it! I see what the rest of you blokes can't even peer through, right? I saw potential!
She just, wide-eyed, clicks the comms dead, and puts it back. Says, well, he made it, Astraea, and I suppose that's all that matters. And our garden is in working condition.
Right? High five, Adino.
Through all the odds, I'd say that those you brought in are officially part of the Quasars now, if they'd like to be.
Ooh, can they get a tattoo and everything? Well, we'll set that for later when they get.
If
when
we
they
make
have
it through the
cars.
storm, then we can have that conversation.
Trust me, my driving is the road is my mistress. Well, my husband, I guess I could say.
I wish I could say that. It is true. I am.
You got Infini.
Yes. Yeah.
You got Dyson. You got Bright Bloom. And you ever had Parallax?
At that, Tetra goes, do you hear that? And you hear
The wind.
thunder. But it sounds a bit more rhythmic than thunder.
I look back at it and I'm just like, is that you or who? That's not you doing that, is it, dear?
Doing what? And
Okay.
as you start to exit the ruins that you were driving through, you see lights shining in the distance. Like, you know when you're driving into a city and there were those sort of like, where's that coming from? The spotlights to show up, and they start circling around the horizon. And then 2 more.
Is this
And
the
then
eye?
2 more. And Tetra goes, we're about to pass through Disco Junction.
Oh,
And as she says that,
you never let me go here as a kid. Why?
as she says that, bouncing over the horizon is one huge, what looks to be like disco ball, shooting lights, not across the entirety of its surface, but through different openings on its surface as it's rotating. Another one bounces over the horizon. They're like large disco ball tumbleweeds that are one after the other, bouncing their way towards you.
Are these beams of lights like affecting anything? Are they like actually like hot beams of light, or are they just light?
As one rotates and the beam crosses over a portion of the caravan, their lights go out. Their everything short circuits, and people are driving, trying to correct themselves. As you guys are about 100 meters from this, what seems to be like bouncing ball field of madness.
Well,
You better put the pedal to the metal, Astraea.
like put my goggles down.
And she goes over the comms and says,
Quasars, we've made it to the Disco Junction. Step on it. Those who are lost we cannot go back to get, so make it through.
and she clicks it off. And you just hear,
Woo! Wow! Woo! Woo!
as they're just sort of like driving forward. Some of the since it was hyper organized before, and there was a ring to the structure of the caravan, it has dispersed out wide as people start getting as wide a berth as they can to try and increase their chances and odds of making it through.
I kind of want to just like message Netra, just like stay close, Netra, best you
I'm
can.
trying.
You see me in the back seat, curled up in the fetal position with the bunny.
Get Vitalith.
Yeah,
on
Vitalith
Tink.
should be with you. Vitalith is healing you now.
Oh, you're new. Oh, this flesh is rotten.
Ugh.
All right. I miss Jay. Do you like that? That's not the same.
I kind of like it. Yeah.
Shut up, no talking.
Oh, what?
Wow. This is unfortunate. Or fortunate, whichever way. I don't know.
And that is where we will pick up next time on Sasapunks. I did not mean to pick on Tink the entire time, but your rolls were so
Even my
horrible.
high rolls were low because it just is not. See, I have skills in driving, but of Netra and I think I was the only one who could roll to fix their car.
So in the future, you could, and I should have probably suggested something like this, but she could you could tap into her feed and vice versa, though it would be at a detriment because of the interference with the storm. But since she's younger and more spry than you, maybe she has more dexterity than 3 or whatever yours was. You could sort of instruct her over the feed.
I'm now thinking through something like that, but yeah, my cyber tech wear that I'm wearing, it's not real.
It's just a pot on your head.
With some circuitry that I've slapped on there.
It doesn't actually do anything.
Thank you for joining us, Sasapunks. We truly appreciate everybody here that joins us every Thursday for our live sessions, and anybody who follows up if they missed our live sessions for 6 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube the following Wednesday. It means honestly a supreme amount to us. So anybody who decides to spend their Thursdays with us, it's a gift, and we appreciate it to no end. So thank you very much, and as always, until fate next brings us together,
Thursday.
and never
stop playing role-playing games.
Unless
Do
it's
it, Netra.
Saturday. and,
Netra!